Hi everyone, it's Mo here, Trophy FPL, and welcome to my new YouTube channel. On this channel, I'll be producing FPL content as well as just general football content. So I hope you stick around and enjoy the videos. Today's video is all about Trent. Last 3-4 years being one of the best defensive assets within the game. We all love him, we all owned him. But this season they've priced him at 8 million and he's also played DM a couple of preseason games. Does that make him a better asset? I'll be looking at whether I will be purchasing him if he's a right back versus inverted versus DM and letting you know what I think. But I'm also keen to know what you think. Right, let's get into it. But why do we love Trent so much? Well, I can tell you. In the last 5 seasons, he's only scored less than 10 assists in one of those. In under 200 games, he's got 12 goals, 54 assists, and 64 clean sheets. Yeah, you heard that correct. Ridiculous scoring. Most midfielders within the Premier League will be super proud to be producing numbers like that. This is from a right back. Now, for the last 3-4 years, he's played right back under Klopp, providing the width and the creativity. Until last season when the defensive structure broke down and Klopp had to look for solutions to solve this issue, and he turned to Trent. Trent started to invert and change his game and give Liverpool some stability within the middle of the park. Now, does this make Trent a better asset, or do we prefer him at right back? Let's have a quick look at what made Trent what he is. Trent at right back has been a revelation. Since he's burst onto the scene, he's been astonishing. Playing in Klopp's attacking system, he gets the opportunity to be the creative, wide player. Combine that with his elite passing, and then you know why we're all after him as an FPL asset. Now, look at his heat maps taken from 19/20 when Liverpool are at their full power, and look at where his touches are, predominantly in the opponent's half, and not just taking touches there, but also being extremely creative. If you look at his average positioning, you can see he's already starting in an advanced position, the cheating position, where he's not focusing on defensive closer to the centre back. Nope. He's focusing on getting in the opponent's half, getting on the ball, and finding the strikers. I mean, he's revolutionary in that aspect. We've seen right backs before like Daniel Alves and going back even before, whether it's Cafu, where they produced quality from the opponent's half. But Trent has brought that back to the Premier League and brought it back with a bang. Now, if you look at the setup within a 4-3-3 in Klopp's system, Trent starts high and wide, not concerned about getting back, focusing on getting forward. If you look where he receives the ball, he's far away enough from the central midfield where it's carnage and loads of tackles are going in, not too far wide where the percentage of the quality of the pass goes down. Because obviously it's from, instead of a 30, 25 yard pass, you're talking 40, 50 yard pass. So he's taking up the right position to be able to use his right foot to swing that ball in and find the attackers. He's playing deep enough where you can see the whole pitch. You can see the late runs from Robertson or the left winger, whether it's Diaz, but you can see the intricate movement from the strikers and you can see any late runs from the number 8s in the system. Not worried about what's happening behind him, relying on Fabinho or maybe Lavia now, taking up that space and covering him. So, system designed to get the best out of him as an attacking option, not defensive at all. We almost look defensive clean sheets were a bonus with Trent. Now at right back, was he a superior option than being inverted? Let's have a look. Trent as an inverted right back is an interesting one. Now I don't think Klopp was planning this. This was more of a move to stop Liverpool's defensive frailties. Throughout the whole season, Liverpool was struggling to keep clean sheets and teams could get at them too easy. I mean, literally 1 or 2 passes and they're 1v1 versus Beckham. Klopp had to do something. And he did. He inverted Trent, which instantaneously gave Liverpool more defensive stability. But as well as the defensive stability, Trent all of a sudden was back on the FPL menu. I mean, you just need to look at his stats. I mean, they speak for themselves. He was touches in the opponent's box, creativity and everything he was number 1 for. So before this, no one would have touched him. No clean sheets at that price and no assists. Why would you go near him? But now, because of the inverted position, he was clearly back on the menu. And there was a correlation between him moving into inverted position and Liverpool's late surge for the Champions League. It was a game changer. That's how much of a difference it made to Liverpool's defensive stability. Now, what's the difference between a 4-3-3 and a 4-3-3 inverted? Well, once Trent inverted, Robbo tucked in and got closer to Van Dijk and Canute, making a back three, where in a standard 4-3-3 under Klopp, Canute and Van Dijk defended on a halfway line, 1v1 by themselves. So Robbo tucking in was, instantaneously giving them a better defensive coverage. Trent tucked in near number 6 Fabinho, and then there was two number 8s in front of them, giving them a box midfield, which means they could stop their counter-attacks at source. So straight away, the defensive structure again, big improvement. But then also, it allowed Trent, as he had a number 6 beside him, he could be creative from a deep lying midfield position. He could be creative from a number 8 on the right-hand side, where he's very used to, like his right-back position, or he could create from a number 10. He had freedom knowing there was enough players behind him, where unlike previously, he knew there was basically 2 defenders behind him. Now, he had quite a lot of players behind him, so he could get on the ball with a big freedom, weight off his shoulders basically, and he was causing carnage. So apart from the defensive stability, it gave him creative confidence, and he could attack with no worries as he knew he had numbers behind him. As it inverted, I think we were all smiling as FPL managers. But how about as a defensive midfielder? Trent as a number 6. Yep, you heard that correct. Not inverting, no, starting as a DM from the get-go. Now, what's Klopp up to? Is he preparing for Trent to be a number 6 all season coming? Or is he just doing pre-season training for Trent, so when he inverts, he's more familiar being in that midfield position? Or come game week 1, we'll see Trent as right back, and this is all pointless exercise. Now, Klopp's played him in 2 pre-season games as a DM. He's picked up an assist. Of course, we have to bear in mind it is pre-season, yes I know, and the quality of the opponents. Now, if you look at his heat maps, nothing spectacular. Picking up the ball in positions you'd expect to number 6. His average positioning, again, a number 6 position. With his quality, still more than capable of getting the assist. But when I look at the structure of a 4-3-3, a Klopp 4-3-3 and a CDM, his priorities will be completely different. First and foremost will be to protect the back 4. Second will be to dictate the tempo of the game, but also taking the ball from the back 4 of his back facing the midfield. That's a complete... Trent's not used to this. He hasn't done this for years, and he's used to being an inverted or a right back, meaning he can face the game in front of him. And third, which is quite an important point, which is the tactical fouls. Now, I mentioned this because clearly fouling, picking up yellows is not good for FPL points. But in that position, he will be doing that. He'll be left with huge open spaces to cover at times. And no matter how good you are defensively, you just have to look at the experts in that position, whether it's Rodri, Casemiro, or going back to even the master who is Fernandinho a couple of years back at City. Them tactical fouls are part and parcel of that position. Knowing when to slow down the game, when to pull the shirt, the cynical foul to stop the counter-attack, you're going to pick up yellows. That alone, for me, hurts Trent as an asset if he starts as a DM. Now, do I think he's finished as an asset if he's a DM? Compared to, say, an inverted or a right back? Let's have a look. Am I buying Trent at £8 million? Right, let me get this one out of the way first. If he plays DM, I will not be buying him. Why? Like I said a minute ago, the defensive responsibility will hinder his creative play. I just think at £8 million, he won't be as effective as he is if he plays as a right back or inverted. So DM, no for me. If he plays inverted, I will be hoping Liverpool regain some of the form that they finished off last season, which nearly got the Champions League. It made Trent an outstanding asset. So even for £8 million, I will be interested. At right back, again, similar to inverted, I will be interested if the form is back to where it should be. The reason is £8 million, my defender, I need some clean sheets. Yes, he's an attacking machine, but I need some clean sheets before I spend that £8 million. Now, Liverpool have gone for a complete restructure in midfield. Ox, Milner, Henderson, Fabinho, Naby, loads of experience has left that midfield. It's a brand new midfield that's come in. McAllister, Soboslai, and potentially Lavia. There's a big difference. The old midfield is more hard-working, more power. and now we've got a more technical, maybe more lightweight midfield. So interesting to see what Klopp's going to do. Interesting to see how the team responds defensively. There's still for me a lot of unknowns here. And when you're spending £8 million, you need more knowns, not than unknowns. So I won't be starting the season with Trent. I'm more intrigued to hear if you will be starting with him. If you are starting, why are you starting? Do you think that he's going to still outscore every midfielder at £8 million, even with this new Liverpool midfield? I mean, let me know in the comments. If you've stayed this long, thank you very much. It's my first video. I've probably made loads of mistakes. Hopefully the next one I'll be even better. Like the video, subscribe, give me any feedback. Much appreciated. Thank you very much.